I'm redoing this video because when I changed YouTube's options in the first video I made on the light experiment, there is actually a ball of light. It looked like a ball of light instead of the mirror image of hold on, let the camera refocus. Right here. That actually looked not like the reflection of the cup itself, but a floating ball of energy, which is really confusing to me. I don't know if that's what happened when I changed. Actually, no. That's exactly what happened. The reflection does not look like the cup when I turn the light up. Proving that a camera reads off of the light pattern and traces it back to its source of the source of energy. I mean, right there, you can tell that it's the reflection of the cup until the fish goes near it, and then it's like the fish actually ruins the picture, and it makes the cup look like energy instead of the actual cup's reflection. Not the center cup here, but the reflection up here. I haven't used indigo once in this second video. Proving that now that I can see that it's the actual cup in the reflection and it doesn't look like just a ball of energy. That indigo color no, that's not right, because now it looks like a cup too. Right there it just looks like a ball of energy, so that shade of indigo must just transfer energy or draw the specific energy out from the cup that only represents an orb and not the mirrored image. So the indigo is preventing the full solid state of the reflection in the water from being seen. I'm talking about this. I know you can see it. I'm talking about that. Now, you see how it looks like a cup right there? More like a cup anyway. Now you see how it looks like a ball of energy instead of the form of a cup. This means that certain types of light emissions actually displace energy. Right there, it definitely looks like a cup. Now the cup changed, the cup's reflection changed color completely on that one. It's not even matching up to the plastic cup in the center right now. Right here, as you can see, the color varies, but it's the reflection from the cup. Now if I change the color, it will probably look like the cup again. And it's the same contrast as well. Let's see if we can find the color of the light emission that actually changed the reflections image on color. That wasn't it. This remote's really pissing me off. So as this fish swam past, the reflection of the fish actually changed as well. You can't even see the reflection with that. So obviously this blue light shade prevents reflections. So if something doesn't reflect, that means it doesn't send off an energy pattern. So with that shade of blue, there is no energy pattern present whatsoever in the reflection. Now you can see that there is a reflection with this indigo. You can't tell it's the cup itself, but there is an actual reflection, proving that indigo actually emits the reflection of the cup's light. No, I don't know where I'm going with this. I have to rephrase myself. Right now my computer needs plugged in. So that means one of these is getting unplugged. At my luck, this will change everything just because there's not as much oxygen in the water. Okay. So where'd I put my remote? Let's see if we can get the reflection of the full, complete cup back and not just the energy field. Well, if these buttons would work correctly. So orange is looking like the color that best directs reflective properties. Through objects that aren't living. So to the government, if you do make an eye that reads off of the human body and things that are actually live and breathe, orange might definitely be the pattern that you should start with. That's a different shade of the orange. You can even see the ring around the base of the cup that's created by a shadow. With that, the yellow, you can see the fish better, yeah. But can you pick out the reflection of the cup better up here? No. Fuck, I think I had a good color there. With indigo, you can also see the shadow around the brim of the cup. With this indigo, you can't at all. It just looks like a basic form of energy. You can see the center cup here, which right now, through the camera, when I look at the screen, looks white, but clear as day to me when I'm laying here, the cup is lime green. So your little magic electronic eye is gonna have to be fine-tuned to each person and how their eye reads off an image according to what they have been through and what their brain registers through eyesight. I think it's gonna be a little fucking harder than you think, especially if you want them to see clearly. So they're gonna have to be options on what they want to see better. Yeah. And you're gonna have to explain to them how light works too. Right there, the reflection just looks like a ball of energy. I hate that motherfucking mode. Right there, the reflection's a little better visible. It doesn't really look like a ball of energy there. I can still see the brim around the cup and the reflection and the shadow. So I guess you would ask the person whether they want to see shadows or not to determine which eye they want. It's dark in my room now. Lights don't mimic sunlight anyway, but I'm sure they'd have to choose which they'd want to see better in as well. Having an eye that's affected by the type of light the sun emits and the type of light the moon emits. Right there, it looks like a dark energy pattern. Right there, it looks like a light energy pattern. So just between those two shades, there's a huge difference in the reflection, how the eye works. It reflects back and absorbs. Because between that shade and this shade, there's barely any recognizable difference in the cup with my eyesight. And the white, that doesn't affect the reflective properties whatsoever. Actually, let me do that again. Because now the purples or the indigos, both of them are showing the brim line. After I switched on this. So the cup may have absorbed a little more energy, just enough to produce a different type of energy field in the reflection of the two shades of purple that you saw earlier. No, because now you can't really see the brim. And that you can. And that you can't. Maybe if I leave this on a little longer. Now you see the reflection of the cup back here looks green, but in the center here it looks white. This proves that this shade of light emits so much energy, it's blinding to the camera, but as it's traced back, it's traced out into as it reflects back out, as the light creates a reflection and loses its consistency, there's just enough loss of energy to create a different type of reflection, the true reflection of the cup, because of the energy loss. Back to the darker purple hues. The cup looks like a dark shadow now. The reflection of the plastic cup. I don't even know if you can see the glass one that I have over here in the corner. Let's try to find a color that you can see the glass visible. There, the orange. I'm guessing this shade of orange, which is one shade below red on this remote, would be the best option to have if you had an electric eye. To see in an environment with low light, in a low light environment. Okay, back to that purple. It looks like a light colored energy reflection. With that, now it actually looks like that reflection is not as dark as the previous one, probably about 2 minutes ago, which I talked about. So there's your darker pattern. And there's your lighter pattern. What I'm getting at is you're not going to be able to have every shade of color or ROYGBIV that you want with the eye because of the different energy levels that are going to change with shading. Because right now you can see the brim and the shadow after I use the different hue of indigo, which starts out as blue, moves down to a lighter blue, goes into two purples, which I'm calling indigo, and then a pink. Let's go back to the two purples that I was talking about. Both of those purples expose the lighter color patterns or hues, and this one exposes the energy field surrounded by the light that reflects off the cup. So basically, the second highest energy field of indigo is going to display the light emissions and not the pattern that the human eye sees. In the reversal process of the camera eye that you're trying to make. There's the lighter hue, one step down. There's the even lighter hue, 3 steps down. There's the even lighter hue. It actually looks like everything is floating now with that hue. That's the actual lightest hue of indigo it goes to on this remote. There's one hue up. There's the other hue up. The other, which definitely exposes energy levels. And with that, there's 0 energy level present because it overwhelms just about everything. So if you want to blind a motherfucker, or fight against the electronic eye of the robot, you're probably going to want to use that against him. since it's electronic, and his eye is gonna be like a camera and not human vision. There's one hue below that. Here you can still see the plastic cup, but up here it's the basic energy of the cup and not the solid form itself. So indigo definitely exposes only energy levels, certain energy levels used when video recording, because when I hit orange, you can see the reflection almost perfectly. Like I said, if you want to make a robotic eye, I'm guessing this shade of orange, which is 2 below the pure red ROYGBIV, is what you're going to want to use. There's your blue again. That's going to blind the fuck out of them. I'm back at indigo. There's the highest level of indigo. Second stage of indigo. Now you can actually see the brim of the cup in the reflection. So this spectrum level of indigo only exposes energy levels through reflection and not a solid state, unlike the orange, which exposes elevated energy and the image of a solid state. So there's your color pattern that you're gonna want if you want to expose just a solid, an energy state. And alright, now that's really fucked up. There's the color scheme you want to use, or energy level you want to use if you want to expose a solid state and an energy state. Back to indigo, just exposing the energy state. Back to orange to expose the solid state and energy state. Back to blue, which is blinding, period. And to indigo, which this shade actually exposes a solid state as well, because I can see the brim. But this shade of indigo just exposes the energy state. And you can see how much energy even the reflection gives off. Either way, indigo definitely exposes different energy levels a little more because of the fact that it feeds into something's energy. Instead of bouncing off of it, just straight up bouncing off of it. Like I said, there's the shade I was talking about. Whenever you do switch the color, you'll notice that it looks brighter, and then after the camera refocuses a little bit, the image becomes a little clearer. The orange is best for something that doesn't need a reaction time to refocus either, because that's the color that exposes the energy level and solid state the best. Why? I don't know yet. In ROYGBIV, red is the first color, so maybe that's the basic spectrum that energy is ruled behind. And if that relates back to all this bullshit fucking, I don't even want to say. I'm just saying this. The only thing that matters right now to me is that this shade of color branches from red, but is not red at all. And I'm not going to relate it back to hereditary things, like, say, a red-haired person is dominant in everything, but this red exposes the definite solid state, and the orange exposes the energy state and the solid state. Now, I've explained all this to you. I hope you got something from it.